Hey everybody, this is Doing Lines. This is the sports betting podcast where we bet on all the not sports of some of the sports, and mostly just the football, all those sports. It is big, giant, copyright free. Do not say it. We are not invited to Radio Row Game Week here. I am your host, Kyle Ayers, joined as always by my co-host, Austin Huff.
Yeah, this podcast has been the one thing about football season that has made me happy this year. What about you, Kyle?
Not a single win for the old squad here this year. This is not actually a jersey I have on. This is a new tattoo I got, full size of a jersey.
It doesn't surprise me, honestly. I would too. If my team had even an iota of the success that your team has had over the last, half decade, I would also get a full body tattoo of the jersey.
Yeah,
so I could go shirtless and still have a jersey on.
Well, this is our boy Jeremy Macklin's Chiefs jersey I got on right now that I got at a thrift store in Kansas City.
You need a Chase Daniel Chiefs jersey to round out the whole set.
Well, much like Chris Christie, I'm not into paying for new jerseys, so I don't. Maybe it'll just be me shirtless on a beach during COVID.
No. So for those that don't know, Kyle, big Chiefs fan.
Big Chiefs
I
fan.
am the exact opposite, a giant Titans fan. We couldn't be further on the ends of the spectrum of
I think
success.
the opposite would be a small Chiefs fan.
That's fair. Yeah. The opposite of Kyle would be Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Just massive and works with the Chiefs.
Great. If it's your first time listening, usually we have better similes than that. And what we do every week is we get a guest on here to take 1,000 very fake dollars and put them across a bunch of really dumb bets. Sort of, the bets that there are in the Super Bowl all the time. We're like, what color's the Gatorade? We do actual good versions of that every week of the NFL season. Measurable, stupid, awful, wonderful, great, very real fake bets. $1,000 fake cash for a guest each week. And we see who's the best at fake betting.
And Kyle and I have gotten, we've been doing this. This is now our season 3, I guess, finale, kind of. We'll do one more episode.
We'll do a recap for the squad.
Recap.
Where Nick Lachey has
everything.
us all sit down and talk it out.
Yeah. It'll be our confession. Andy Cohen will sit in the middle between Kyle and I as we hash things out.
You haven't seen Talking Lines with Chris Hardwick?
But this week, this is kind of like the big episode. Is the end of our 3rd season doing this.
Yeah.
And Kyle and I have gotten oddly good at coming up with these lines.
Some would even say oddsly good.
Oddsly good at doing this.
No one would say that, I hope.
No one would say that. But last time we had someone or this guest that we have this week on this podcast we were just talking about the bets that we did.
Yeah.
And we had a bet where I set the line of over under for pass attempts.
Yes.
By Caleb Williams.
Yes.
And I set the line at 29.
And a half.
29 and a half. And Caleb Williams attempted 29 passes. I'm not joking when I say
you were better
this.
at this than Vegas. We're better at this than Las Vegas.
We do our homework on these lines and these spreads, and they're so unbearable. In fact, to the point where the guest that we had that week came out with $0.
After betting on 6 separate bets, he landed even.
And most of our guests this year have ended in the red. They have lost money.
We are simply
for
too
the
good
fake
at betting
charities
on the things. We're simply too plugged in. We're too good. We understand. I would say we are better at making our lines than Vegas. This is why I live in a weird black pyramid now.
I would too. Vegas is to the point where they can afford to lose some bets here and there, so that I think they've gotten kind of lazy with their lines. Whereas we are a growing podcast, which, rate, review, subscribe, tell your friends. But in doing so, we have to be so pinpoint accurate with the lines that we set that we are better than Vegas. I'm going to say.
You know how your friends are always like, oh, I bet they'll show her in the stands 9 times. Well, I'll take that bet because I know how many they probably will. You know how your friend is always like, oh, I bet 3 guys are going to wear Halloween costumes into the game. Oh, I'll take that bet because Halloween's on a Friday and I know how many will. All of your friends who are like, oh, it's your weird little in-game things you make we take more seriously than you could ever take anything you actually care about.
You'd think we have a hand in the television production with
Yeah.
certain things that announcers say, or that Kyle has a hand in spilling things on his shirt.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I guess that was a bad
The
example. We
problem
actually
was
do
I
have
didn't
that.
have a hand
Yeah.
because my hand was spilling the thing on my shirt. We understand the dialogue and what people will talk about and the way that the media is going to handle all of the non-regular football stuff of this may be better than they do because
Right.
everyone over assumes everyone. I don't know. We like let's recap. Like let's look at last week. So we had Tony
Yeah.
Squares on here to talk about the Pro Bowl. Making
Uh,
fake prop bets about the Pro Bowl is
yeah.
like if you type that into ChatGPT, it would say no.
Yeah, we're degenerates. Unlike people in the NFL, including the players themselves, we do not take Pro Bowl week off.
No.
We still continue to make lines, and we
Yeah, we
did
cared
last
more
week.
about Pro Bowl week than the people in it. I don't know if you saw, I saw a highlight reel that was like, if Joe Burrow had an offensive line, look how good he could pass. And then he just did like okay. And I was like, I don't know if this was supposed to be pro or anti Joe Burrow, but he's missing a lot.
Yeah.
Everyone, it looks like he's playing in a cyberpunk world of the Netflix show Arcane, and he's throwing a football at everything. Here, last week we had some bets. Um, what position will win dodgeball? What position will be the person at the end of the dodgeball round? Running back 2-1, wide receiver even odds, quarterback 4-1, other 5-1. Austin, both rounds, offensive lineman ended dodgeball. Tyler Smith, Jeffrey Simmons ending dodgeball. Jeffrey Simmons ending dodgeball wins another bet for us, which is Austin's bet of will anyone who wins an event be in a bottom third team in the NFL. And yes, Jeffrey
And
Simmons winning dodgeball won Austin $1,100.
you guys might want to sit down to hear this, but the Titans are not only in the bottom third,
Yeah.
they're at the very bottom of the list.
They're in the bottom third of the bottom third, is in like a Bernie Sanders voice, the bottom third of the bottom third of the
Yeah,
bottom
yeah,
third of
yeah.
the NFL, the bottom
Yeah,
1%.
they are.
I mean, we were really, really close. Over under 1.5 guys falling in the foam pit during tug of war. It was two. Just
Yeah.
hit the over. Knew exactly where this would be. We were all
Also,
over.
should have done a bet on guys jumping into the foam pit after scoring touchdowns because
Yeah.
just about every touchdown, one guy jumped in the foam pit, and every touchdown after that, people just jumped in the foam pit like it was a Salvation Army kettle at a Cowboys game.
And I don't want to breeze past the Pro Bowl, but this is just to show like the level of dedication we have to degenerate point lines on things we understand better than gambling. We know what you'll think things will be, and then we know what those things will also be. This is the
You
how it all
know,
works.
you know what we're like? We're like that. Who's that illusionist that goes around to all the training camps?
Oh yeah, where he's like, what number is going to be in a hat? And then he pulls it out.
Yeah, Oz Perlman. Um,
Yeah, that's
we are like
Dr.
Oz
Oz
Perlman.
and Dave Perlman put together.
It's yeah, he
Uh,
has it. Oh, he has his doctorate now. He probably knew you were going to say that, Kyle. Um,
we are like that
he
guy for I would say the general dialogue of the league and the
yeah.
storylines that you can't bet on. We're all about it. Once again, not to breeze past the Pro Bowl too much though, but Austin, Tony Squares made $900 last week.
Hey,
Pretty
finally
good week.
someone in the green.
Austin
We
made.
had been on a
We,
on a rough streak of guys ending in the red.
I think what we
Shout
need
out
to
Tony
do after the
Squares.
Super Bowl is add up and see whether or not charities made or lost money last year as a whole.
Yeah.
$1,400 positive for Austin, $1,800 positive for Kyle, which brings my current running total. I'm at $13,390 on the year, and Austin is at 7,812.
Oh, I
Pretty
guess.
close contest ish.
Okay.
So
It's not.
Austin, while I may
It's
have
about
won
as
this
close
year,
as it's about as close as the Titans are to the Chiefs
yeah,
this year.
which is like they're both technically football teams.
Yeah, they both play the same sport.
But we got
Kind of.
it is absolutely wild for someone to land at $0 for our bets.
Yeah,
And because
it
this
is.
is the Super Bowl, everyone gets into prop bets. So if you're just getting into them, welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
It's like if you just listened to Cowboy Carter because you saw it win an award. We've been banging it all year. So best of luck. Let's get our guest in here, our $0 winner from earlier in the year.
Mr. Andrew McLovin Perloff. This man right here is becoming a member of our Super Bowl house band. Whenever the Super Bowl is in town, so is he. He's earned a residency on this podcast
Yeah.
for Super Bowl week. Not to quote the 1997 film Titanic, but this is where we first met. Andrew, Andrew Perloff 2 years ago for our season 1 finale when the Chiefs played the Eagles, joined us as our Super Bowl guest. And now here we are. Time is a flat circle. 2025 season 3. Andrew Perloff is here with the Chiefs playing the Eagles. Andrew, host of Maggie and Perloff, 6 to 10 Eastern every single weekday morning, which I'm going to say this up front before we get to you, Andrew. If you are a Sports Talk Radio fan, you need to listen to this show because it's just phenomenal. Both him and his co-host Maggie Gray are two of the best at what they do, and their takes and everything is just spot on. It is a must listen. So Maggie and Perloff, 6 to 10 Eastern every weekday, part of the Odyssey family. Andrew Perloff, how are you, man?
I am great. Last time though, if the first time I came on, the Eagles lost. I didn't think about that. Superstitiously, I should not come on because I need my Eagles.
I did think about it.
Oh, is that why I'm here? Is that why I'm here?
See, I don't think about the Super Bowl at all. My football fandom ends usually the first week of January.
Austin just found out they can play when it's cold.
I did not know that football went this late into the year. I thought this is you're 3 weeks into mock draft season, guys. What is this?
We talked about your team this week.
Why? It wasn't good. Your ratings tanked probably.
Thomas Dimitroff said that the Titans should not pick a quarterback. I think it was Dimitroff, and pay Sam Darnold and draft other positions.
I'm all for that. I hate.
Are you really?
Quarterbacks? Yeah, I am so against rookie quarterbacks because people love to rush the rookie quarterback out into the field, which I think a lot of times has been detrimental. I think there's been so many more talented quarterbacks that have not panned out the way they probably should have had they just learned under.
And a decent renaissance that's proving that as well with Sam and with Baker and with these guys that are kind of like on their
exactly.
second
Sam is essentially one of them. Like until he got a couple of years in the league, he wasn't good. And I've just always been a member of that argument. Like, your Brett Favre's,
the quarterback of both our teams.
Patrick Mahomes.
Who
exactly.
Set up to start right away and then either had to start because of situation or after a year.
Well, but if you were the GM of the Commanders, they would have drafted Malik Neighbors instead of Jaden Daniels. That would have been great. That would have been really smart.
Okay.
You draft the quarterback. Of course you draft the quarterback. You have to draft the quarterback.
No.
You're not ready to win with Sam Darnold. You need to build around the quarterback.
I would have still drafted. I would have drafted
Jaden
Jaden Daniels. He just would have sat. I just would have sat him for a year and been bad again.
Yeah, but Jaden's 24. I mean, he's older, or 23.
If I was GM of the Commanders, I would have been fired.
I
would have done dumb stuff. I would have been in a criminal organization and probably betting on the sport.
If any of us were GM of the Titans, you would have been fired because that's just what they do. They just fire GMs after 2 years anyway. So it doesn't matter what you do, win or lose. But I can assure you one thing: if you trade away AJ Brown for nothing, then you probably will be fired.
A bunch of Titans receivers playing in the Super Bowl. It's got to be good to see.
Yeah.
It's just former Titan greats will be going jump ball for jump ball in the end zone.
Who's that kid out of Baylor that they drafted in the first round? The Titans. Oh, Kendall Wright.
Kendall Wright.
The Eagles picked him up on the practice squad. You're right now. There's a million former Titans. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Titans receivers. That's where receivers kind of go to die. Wait, Corey Davis. Oh man,
there was that whole Disney movie based around people watching other players play for other teams called "Remember the Titans," where they just talk about when they used to play somewhere else.
Yeah, the sequel was called "Remember the Titans Receivers." It did get
it's so funny to take 3 days before the Super Bowl to dunk on a Titans fan.
This has been so fun.
You're at the Super Bowl and you're like, I gotta log on now. I'm
starting to see why the narrative this week has been the two least teams, like the teams nobody wants to see in this Super Bowl.
I flipped a switch and decided that I'm going to be, and I think Eagles fans have flipped the switch at some point, and Philly fans. I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, then I am. then I am.
Yeah,
If I've entertained it at all, you know what? Then yes, I am.
You're
And I
gonna do
hope
the LeBron and like become the villain.
I
Like you're
want to
gonna
be
be like,
that
all right,
Miami
if I'm gonna
Heat.
be that.
Yeah. The second that the Eagles get called for holding on a touchdown that Barkley runs in the Super Bowl, I'm gonna look like LeBron in that Miami Heat with the headband
Yeah.
down over his eyes look. I'm gonna I'm gonna be checking to make sure my debit went through to the guys
Oh,
wearing your hat.
I'm working and my little power to work the officials. That's all I'm talking about is how I want the officials to be so scared to make a call for the Chiefs that basically like they can pull Patrick Mahomes up by his face mask and slam him down. We can't call a foul. America's mad at us. We can't call anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they used to be like that, and then you figure out winning one or two, and then
Yeah.
it just all goes away. I am just excited. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. Austin, are you gonna watch?
I'll dabble. I'll dabble.
You know what I'm excited for is how big the numbers are going to be in the Super Bowl after I've read boycott the Super Bowl tweets. I'm gonna be like, you cowards, you people will hate watch stuff before they love watch anything.
Boycott for what? For bad calls in the AFC title game? What are we boycotting?
They can't believe it's the same teams that it's been some
Oh,
of the time. Can you believe teams are still good? It's been almost a year.
yeah. I know. I mean, right. Like, I don't even like, I'm old enough to remember when a team besides the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. It was the Rams 3 years ago.
No one calls that one rigged, even though it was the first Super Bowl in a big new brand new arena in the second biggest media market, and a weird team came out of nowhere and won it.
At
No
home.
one calls that
At
one
home.
rigged. Yeah.
At home. Yeah. And no one calls it rigged. The COVID year when 3/4 of the Chiefs players disappeared on Super Bowl week and Tom Brady just rolled to the win.
One of their linemen was working in a hospital.
Yeah. Oh, Roger Goodell.
Oh man.
Goodell.
Couldn't be more over it. Just happy to lean into it. I think I said to someone today, I guess they just picked rigging it for the Chiefs because their fans are better human beings in their day-to-day life.
That's fair.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And this is a Steelers fan, so it wasn't wrong.
I mean, listen, the NFL has all pro leagues. They always rig it for one of the small, mid-sized, small Midwestern
I
markets.
see the Thunder are good this year. I can just really see
Yeah.
Adam Silver rigging it so Oklahoma City can pop off at their one nighttime activity.
Yeah. Rob Manfred's been pushing the Brewers and the Twins for decades. Like, no, I'm being sarcastic. Of course they're not rigging for the Chiefs. They'd rig for the Giants or whatever.
Like Jerry Jones would not just immediately tell everyone. Jerry Jones can't keep a secret face. Are you serious?
I did love how the head of officiating though was asked about it, and his quote was essentially like, "That's preposterous that people would think that," and everyone's like, didn't say no.
Well, it's just so funny to ask like the boss of a company to be like, "What are you guys, just dumb?" And he has to be like, "Yeah, we're not even full-time. I'm the only full-time employee."
Yeah.
We're literally watching every week a sport where someone could die, and of course we're the dumbest. We're the lowest of the totem pole that enjoys this every single. I'm a Titans fan. Of course we're dumb. Okay.
No, I think it's crazy to not hire full-time employees and be like, you know the most popular thing in America? Let's find the 9 impartial elderly men and have them look at it from far away.
Well, it's funny. Goodell is going over the top, talking about how great the officials are. It's like they're so good. They do such a wonderful job. You know they're going to screw up something bad in the first.
Oh yeah.
Well, Goodell's going to turn to Jay-Z, whoever's next to him, and be like, "Oh, that's not good."
Do you ever watch an old game before there was replay and you're like, "Oh, there's 80 face masks on this play."
Yeah, they have no idea.
That guy's stabbing someone.
Yeah. It's like, did he get both feet down? Like both, like not only his one foot's on the bench on the sideline. They're like, he's out. They had no idea.
There's Super Bowls where Jerry Rice fumbled 3 times, and they're like, "Yeah, but that was last year. That happened
He was
earlier."
down-ish,
The funny thing, if you watch an old game, where's the yellow line? You don't even know what's going on. It's you might as well be watching a rugby match.
It's absolutely.
I don't even. Early Brett Favre. I'm like, there's no yellow line. How do they know where how does the announcer know where the first down is?
It's they just have 2 slightly overweight people jog in with chains and hope they ran straight. It's crazy. It's chaos. That narrative, I'm so over it. Honestly, I've had the best time of talking to any Eagles fans are just also don't want any narrative floating around at all.
Well, I've had this argument, and I'm curious what you guys think. I don't think Maggie, my co-host, thinks that the the Eagles are desperate to end the three-peat Detroit. I don't think most Eagles fans even know where Kansas City is. Like the Eagles are so into their own thing.
Yeah.
They're not really worried about the three-peat. I mean, they got a whole set of things going on.
People in Philadelphia really act like they're the furthest west of any city that matters.
Yes.
Yeah. They don't even know where Pittsburgh is, I don't think.
No. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, you're going to be playing the Chiefs. There's going to be a F Dallas chant going through the Eagles crowd. Like, they're not even aware of what's really happening here.
It'll be the third quarter, and they'll be like, did that guy used to be our coach?
No, they're like, they take partial credit. Well, Andy got the ring. That's kind of ours.
They do really. It is. I've never felt like weirder, less, more stakes all at the same exact time.
Yeah.
It just feels
after the Eagles lost to the Chiefs, everyone was like, the Eagles were like, yeah, I mean, that was the good call on the whole. Like, we really respect those guys. Like, they lose to the Cowboys and it's chaos. The Chiefs is just like, we're kind of like, we're friends.
I love that from the NFC Championship, where it's like literally Commanders and Eagles fans like doing the Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator meme with the Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, there were those videos. The Eagles fans like ripping hats off from Commanders. The Eagles fans can be pretty mean. But that was chippy because Marshawn Lattimore was trying to start a fight from the first play of the game.
I think that there's like a threshold of behavior versus talent that Marshawn Lattimore has crossed over from one axis to the other too long ago to keep like, he's like, who's tall on the other team? Should I let him embarrass me?
Perloff is defending those Eagles fans like he was one of them doing that. Was that you in that video stealing that dude's hat?
No. I'm too scared to take part of this anymore.
Also, maybe it just had an offensive former logo on it. Did you ever think about that?
I told you the guys, it's the reason that I go to the Eagles game, but I only want to sit with like in the old section because I was at the urinal for a playoff game the year they won the Super Bowl. And the guy next to me, I heard this conversation. Did I tell you that Matt Ryan? Hey, who's the quarterback of the Falcons? They're playing the Falcons. Matt Ryan. Yeah, he's from Philly. Oh, yeah, Philly, St. Joe's Prep. Good guy. Yeah, I still want to rip his head off and piss down his neck. I was like, what?
I sometimes think like when Philly fans talk, it just gets bleeped in real life. Like it's just like a bleep, like a supernatural thing that just bleeps them because in case and then the kids who are around are saying the same thing.
I apologize. That was the clean version of the story, by the way. The real way worse. I don't know if you have to keep that up.
It is just it's just couldn't be more excited for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Couldn't be more excited for these bets. I'm in a vein where I'm like, I love so many players on Philly. I love them. I really do. I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I like AJ Brown. I think he's hilarious. I love Devontae Smith. I like a small wide receiver. I also love when someone wins the Heisman who's not a quarterback. I'll root for them forever. It's such a weird thing. I don't like Sirianni. I love Barkley. I don't like Sirianni, but I respect that he was like, maybe everyone's better at coaching than me. So he hired two incredible coordinators and he's like, I'll just do what I'm good at, which is kind of just odd vibes.
And yell at fans,
He's just I mean, that's a big thing to let go of all that sort of stuff.
He's like, I need you to take over offensive and defensive play calling duties so I can yell at these fans back here.
So I can, he's my least favorite part of the Eagles, but I think he's a lot of Eagles fans' least favorite part of the Eagles as well.
You haven't named my two. Oh, you have not named my two.
I like Jalen Carter because he tries to intercept snaps or spike passes. Jalen Carter intercepting a spike pass is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I love watching him try and do it all the time. They're just pretty fun. Oh, they got Cooper DeJean, Dallas Goedert.
Dallas Goedert's
Dallas Goedert. Okay.
He's like a skinny grizzly bear out there. I don't know what his look is. And Lane Johnson is also one of my favorites.
Love Lane Johnson. I just Mailata is such a good story. They got a lot of stuff going on, but it's
So Jalen Carter is not a good story. Obviously, had tragedy in college. I saw him on the street the other day. We're staying in the Eagles hotel.
Not driving.
No. Good point. I've never seen a more physically terrifying person in my life. He's as big. He's like as big as Vince Wilfork or whatever, but all muscle. It is like a moving mountain. He is the key to the Eagles' hopes here. He's got to single-handedly kill the Chiefs D line.
Well, I think that'll be okay because they're playing a backup and then another guy at the wrong position at the Eagles' biggest strength. But it's always fun when that becomes the thing.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know. Is it really the Eagles' biggest strength? Can they take advantage of that? I'm afraid that the ends are going to run around and Mahomes is going to sneak out.
He's very, very they're one of my favorite playoff. Mahomes is you just
Oh,
can't look at regular season stats because you're just like, well, he just had more rush attempts in the last game than the whole regular season on design plays. It's just such a fake thing.
oh, I know. It's crazy.
But the Eagles win, I'll be fine. The team's not
Do
going
you,
anywhere. The Chiefs aren't
do you
going
remember?
anywhere. And
Do you remember that one play in the Super Bowl when Eli Manning we all thought was sacked and he got away and threw a football and it was caught on a helmet? That
Yeah.
is Patrick Mahomes on every play of every down, where it's like, how is he not tackled? How was he not down?
he is like this thing has happened with I've seen the narrative where people are so tired of the conspiracy stuff. At least like legitimate people are so over it that now everyone is like, not only is there not a conspiracy, but he was so good in the Super Bowl he lost. You don't even know that. Like you don't even remember how good he was in the Super Bowl the Chiefs lost. And it's just I see tons of highlights of him or the sideline where the Bucks players were like, this fucking guy's out of control.
Yeah, I
Out
remember
there.
we spun around. But can I go back to the play where Eli Manning was in the thing? I think that you're underestimating the audience's football knowledge. You're like, do you remember that play? You mean the helmet catch? Yes, of course I remember. Remember when Franco Harris picked the ball off the ground? Like, yes, just say the helmet catch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you
It's
remember
the
the
most
time-
famous play of the century.
Remember
Do you
that when
remember
the
the one
Giants?
play
Yeah, the one. Yeah,
Rams linebacker Mike Jones, he made a tackle
yeah.
preventing Kevin Dyson from scoring a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember that hockey match where USA beat Russia in the Olympics?
Oh, you're talking about the wacky skate around?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you remember that? Do you remember that one? That's a good bit. Do you remember that one play?
One time Gary Strug did the horse like vault routine, and when she landed, she had to lift up one of her legs because it was hurt. She had hurt her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the carry struggle. We all remember.
Do you
It's a
remember that one
dance.
time then when Mike Tyson was fighting Evander Holyfield and he bit his
Got
ear
hungry.
off?
It's like you'll never
Yeah.
hear this coming.
You're like, that was the worst description of
Yeah.
the helmet catch I've
Eli
ever
Manning,
heard.
I think he stepped up in the pocket and then it actually
Yeah,
had a
just-
lot of loft on the pass. And then I think
Yeah.
it was a little bit down the left hash. Do you guys remember this pass near the left hash?
Yeah.
There was
He was
sorry.
playing Teddy Bruschi's team.
Wait, do you guys remember? Do you remember there was that Super Bowl and the Patriots playing the Seahawks and the Seahawks were down near the goal line and Russell Wilson decided to pass?
Did they
Do you
record
remember?
that?
I think it was in the fourth quarter. I think it was in the fourth.
I do love whenever that comes up, just hearing Marshawn Lynch be like, and then I went and laughed in Pete Carroll's face.
Yeah, doomed the franchise forever. They're never going to win again.
I will say this: that for Perloff's Eagles, they go up against inevitable dynasty in the Patriots in what
17?
2004.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville.
Yeah,
2004.
yeah. When T.O. he played on like a broken foot and they lost that game, and then years later go up against that same dynasty and knock them off. So I'm just saying, maybe it takes a second time for the Eagles to play a dynasty.
I have
to knock them
found
off.
if there's one thing that can kind of define the Chiefs with Mahomes, it's that they tend to be the exception in all of these. Anytime there's any stat, it'll be teams are 801 when this, and the one will be a team that lost to the Chiefs. Like there's teams are 292 when this happened, and the two will be the Bills in the playoffs losing. Like it's like they tend to be the exception to these historical patterns.
Right. Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
I'm going to choose the first theory, and I'm going to actually lead my show on Friday with that, with the exact thing. Because I've been trying to find any reason to convince people the Eagles are going to win. That's the best one I've heard.
One decent thing you could convince them is I think the MVP is on the Eagles.
yeah.
The MVP of the league
that does
is
help.
who has 7 50-yard touchdowns this year.
Maggie and I were taking a Uber somewhere for an event, and Maggie was talking. She goes, the Eagles are staying in the same hotel that the Ravens stayed in when they beat the Niners in the 2012 season Super Bowl in New Orleans. And the Uber driver was listening. He goes, that does not predict anything, ma'am. That is completely non-meaningful. I'm a full-time bettor, and that's the stupidest theory I ever heard.
Are you a full-time bettor Uber driver?
Well, that's why
listen.
you can be a CEO, I guess. I don't know. Maggie was a little offended. She's
Listen, Uber driver. I'm pretty sure Maggie knows a little bit more about than you, buddy. But also, I think what he meant by that was that doesn't stand alone. Like, that
That's
doesn't stand up
I
on its
think that
own.
just means that
You,
don't plan on charging your devices in there because the power might get cut.
Perloff, you gotta cut the power at the in around the third quarter ish.
So
Okay.
you're telling me that the historical precedent from the Super Bowl Colin Kaepernick started in might end in the remove end racism from the end zone Super
wow.
Bowl?
Do you
Yeah,
guys
well,
remember that one play in the Super Bowl when the lights went out?
yeah, I do. I'm saying in that I'm in that hotel now. We're in this bathroom was used by Haloti Nada. It's an ancient to my left. Or should I say what's left of this bathroom? There's like
Yeah, that sounds like you describing to the housekeeping what needs fixed.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, all right, we got some bets. It's a
Yeah,
Super
we got
Bowl
some
week.
bets. But before we get to the bets,
Oh,
look,
yes.
Andrew, last time you were on, you won a total of $0. You
What?
didn't win or lose
First person in
anything.
the
You
history of the show to end at
first
literally
time
zero.
anyone came in or left with what they came in with. So
If this was
we do.
Ticketmaster, you would have been down $100 for spending nothing.
So we don't want you. We need to find a new charity that you will be playing for.
Yeah.
Last time you played for the Fund for Retired Mascots,
Mhm.
and you won $0 for them, and so they are asking that you do not represent them again.
Yeah.
So is there a fake charity that you will be playing for this week?
Well, you guys are sure. Mine is a political action committee.
Okay.
And if you guys mind if I get serious for a second,
Go right
talking
ahead.
state of the world, I want to start a fund for politicians who mess up sports chants because the Philadelphia mayor couldn't spell Eagles. And I've seen politicians lose their career by messing up sports facts. There was a
Uh-huh.
Massachusetts woman who thought Kurt Schilling was on the Yankees. So I just want to donate to allow for sports consultants to help these political campaigns. Because when the mayor of Philadelphia misspelled Eagles, I just felt so bad for her. That was terrible. So that is my fund. It's a very political, and I'm sorry to get political in these divisive times, but I
Yeah.
think certain politicians need help
It's a
with.
super cap, if you will.
Yeah,
Oh, I spelled that
yeah,
wrong. Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah.
super
Wait a minute.
cap, super cap.
It's a super epic.
You guys don't do a lot of politics. I'm getting the sense on this podcast.
No. Okay. So wait. Did we ever stop to think though that ELGSES is how you actually spell Eagles? Because let's be honest, Philadelphia fans are not the sharpest fans of the bunch. Great sports fans. Don't get me wrong. One of the best sports cities in America, but they're not that bright. Obviously, eating poop after horse poop after they won the Super Bowl last time.
8 people do one thing, and all of a sudden it's a group.
Where they have to grease up the light poles. Like maybe the mayor had it right, and Eagles fans at Eagles games actually have it wrong. Do we ever think of that?
I'm an Eagles fan. I don't know. I don't know how.
How are you supposed to?
I have no idea.
Words shouldn't be able to start with multiple vowels. If I'm
Yeah,
honest, just to get
EA.
going.
Yeah,
EA.
EA. It doesn't make any sense.
If you say EA to me, I just say it's in the game.
It's in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that crowd's gonna be so drunk by the third quarter. They don't even know what other people are chanting.
I think this is a decent depiction of the unfair media portrayal as well. If you spell Eagles wrong, everyone gets mad at you. If you spell Chiefs wrong, you're in 2 Snickers commercials.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And it's the same commercial twice, and no one cares.
Yeah, there does seem to be a double standard with Eagles fans that, if the drunken guy without a shirt on at Lincoln Financial Field spells Eagles that way, he gets cheered.
Yeah,
but
like,
if the mayor does it,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden she's like voted out of office.
Yeah,
That
he's
doesn't
like,
seem very fair.
give me an E, give me a Z, give me a P, an A, an S, and an S. What's that smell? Yeah, we have no idea. Yeah, we have no idea.
Yeah, he's actually earnestly asking.
Yeah. Like I got this email. I'm not sure
what's that spell. Can you use it in a sentence? Do you know the language of origin?
Yeah. It's basically right. It's a spelling bee. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. No, but that was a huge political faux pas. I don't think she's been. I mean, if the Eagles lose, she's probably going down. If they win, then everyone will forgive her.
Well, look, mayors doing embarrassing things right before playing the Chiefs has always worked out well for their team. So
Hmm.
Oh no, wait, that's Cincinnati Mayor. That did not go well for him. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to say misspelling Eagles is not as bad as saying I proclaim this guy as that guy's daddy,
Oh.
which was
Oh.
DADI.
All right. So the politicians who mess up sports chants pack is
Yes.
what Andrew Perloff is playing for today. The mayor of Philadelphia, you have been put on watch. Okay. Andrew, you've got $1,000 of fake cash. Kyle and I each have 3 fake
Yes.
bets for you. And we'll read off all the bets, then you can allocate your money after. And you don't have to bet on all 6. We just ask that you bet on 2, and one of which will be your lock, which is double the winnings or
Yes.
triple the losses. This is this is an old hat for you.
Yeah.
You know this game
Yeah.
like the back of your hand by now.
Yeah.
So
Or like
this
that old
is
hat.
or like that old 1980s hat that he's wearing right now with
Look at
the
this old
old
Chiefs one.
NFL logo on it. He looks like
This is a Chiefs move to Kansas City hat from
Oh, that is
1970,
cool.
1970 right here.
Yeah,
goodness. Should I get a hat? I don't. I've got
Yeah.
the oldest Titans hat I have is like from just like when NSYNC was popular.
Yeah, that's the oldest Titans hat.
Yeah, right.
yeah. I
All
feel
right,
like
here we go. I'm
I
gonna
was
list out
thinking-
my 3, and then we'll have Austin list his 3 out, and then we got a bonus for the Super Bowl at the end.
Okay.
Number 1, this one's for Austin and for everyone. More touchdowns from former Titans or cameos during the halftime performance.
I hate you so much.
So we got AJ Brown and DeAndre Hopkins as the big 2. I don't think there might be some lineman or something hovering around in there.
So it's the number of total touchdowns, not the number of Titans players who score touchdowns. So
number
if
of total touchdowns.
So AJ gets 2 and Hopkins gets 1. That's 3. Okay.
Yeah, or cameos during the halftime performance.
Now,
And for me, it's a cameo as someone we know the name of. If someone's like, do you know that's the best backup dancer? I'm gonna say it's not a cameo.
Well, do we know SZA's already scheduled? So that's not a cameo.
That's not a cameo then.
Right. Now you say we know the name of. If it's a popular rapper, there's a good chance I won't know the name.
We'll say someone at the party that I'm at. Like if it's like you should, or this is if it's a big deal that they're there, sort of a know it when you see it type of thing. And if it comes down to a close tie, we'll figure that out. But we'll see. Next one. Are there more cuts to Taylor Swift or texts in my fantasy football group chat that mention the refs or rigging?
Oh, okay.
I'm the only Chiefs fan in there. It's Cowboy Steeler.
Oh, that's an important piece of information. Okay.
It's mostly people from Dallas, but they're not all Cowboys fans. A lot of them have jumped ship and just rooted for the NBA until 2 days ago, and now are just I think fans. I think they're fans of the Manning kid that plays at Texas now. It's like they're putting all their eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
Okay.
So more cuts to Taylor Swift, and a replay of the same cut doesn't count. More cuts to Taylor Swift or fantasy football group chat. One kid in here, there's one like huge conspiracy theorist in here, but no one replies to him anymore, and so he just sort of, we'll see. And my last one, the Chiefs are around the 15th ranked run defense in the league.
Okay.
Are there more Saquon Barkley runs over 15 yards or under 0?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I like that one. I mean,
so 15 and a half or you know what's crazy is I wrote 50 at first instead and I was like, this is actually kind of fucking reasonable.
Honestly, it could be. It honestly could be the case with
but for him,
Barkley.
Barkley. If Barkley gets 16, he's off and gone.
Yeah. There's no after 15. It's like
it is. I mean, I love Justin Reed, and I hope he tackles him one-on-one. But when he's one-on-one with like a safety, you're just sort of like, ugh.
Saquon Barkley reminds me of like the closest thing at that position that we've seen since Chris Johnson, where it's you're getting 2 to 3
To me,
yards.
it feels more like Peterson. It's like the first guy. You're just like, this is. I've not seen. It is crazy.
Size and strength for sure.
You know, I'm a big like 90s, 80s running back. Barry Sanders was the best. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is the throwback guy. He's like. I haven't seen a guy like that since 1989. Barkley's more like Chris Johnson, who just boom.
The Lions also like to throw him back on the bench and just play Montgomery too much all season.
Well, no, but then they started going to Gibbs when Montgomery.
Yeah, Gibbs is very, very, very fun to watch.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, Gibbs is my favorite.
He reminds me like Le'Veon Bell in those couple crazy years that he had in there.
Yeah, I feel like we're seeing the return to like the '90s, because we haven't had that for so long.
I saw some people talking about if Saquon Barkley had not been drafted by the Giants, would the running back market have crashed forever? Because he would have never left to the Eagles and then been this good and then sort of started this revitalization. Like, what if he was just pretty good somewhere forever?
That feels like a unnecessary hypothetical. It's a lot of moving parts in that one.
Yeah, yeah, they are, and like most of the moving parts, they're leaving New York Giants for greener
pastures. If someone who works in sports talk radio is being like, "That's too many hypotheticals," that's when you know. That's when you know.
This is why they don't need 2 weeks between the championship and the Super Bowl, because you start doing this.
You need to play out 4 years in New York, and then Joe Shane and Joe Shane's kid. Like,
right? It's just a thing of Saquon Barkley spinning a top to see if it falls down or not, to see if he's incepted.
Yeah.
So those are my three. I got the Taylor Swift shots, fantasy football. I got more touchdowns for former Titans or cameos. I guess I should say like surprise cameos, and then Barkley runs over 15.5 or under 0, and then I have a bonus I'm going to do at the very end, but we'll get Austin's 3.
Okay. And all right, so my 3, I don't have creative names for them. But
just pretend we can't say the real names because they're copyright. Just call them the big bets.
Okay, so this one is called the big uh-oh. Okay. Does anyone associated with the NFL starting right now? Does anyone associated with the NFL get arrested this weekend in New Orleans?
Okay.
In New Orleans.
And that. Yes. Well, yeah. Oh, no. I'm dropping New Orleans. Anywhere. It's anyone during the big game weekend.
Okay.
And this runs through Monday night at midnight. So you have a whole another 24 hours after everything.
Right. What bad could happen after the Super Bowl in America's biggest, most open 24 hours a day city?
Not to mention the party back in Philly if the Eagles win.
Yeah. Look, altercations on flights could be a big one, you know?
I like that.
I know. I saw that Mark Wahlberg movie.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I saw his haircut.
Yeah. All right. I just want to make sure we're okay here. Because that's like a cry for help. Like, are you being held hostage right now?
Yeah, right.
That's the plot of the movie is he's making someone in a plane watch the movie.
Oh my God! All right.
Okay.
Arrest. Okay.
Anyone associated with the NFL, so works for the NFL or works for a team or something. My next one. Taylor Swift may or may not be in attendance. She will. Does Taylor Swift get a ring? So this is kind of a twofold bet. Like, obviously the Chiefs would probably have to win, but does she get a ring after the, you'd assume after the game?
Yeah. Wait, by the way, the arrested one, was that countered with something else? Or just one person got arrested?
Just one person.
Oh, okay. And you said anyone works for the NFL, so it could be like
anyone that works for the NFL, yes. So like if a random Eagles fan gets arrested, that doesn't count.
Right, but if somebody's like in the marketing department of like the Jaguars, like that counts?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyone
it sounds like you know something that's happened.
Yeah. I would say Bill in accounting's been spending a lot of time at the casino, if you know what I mean.
Let's just say the Titans GM shouldn't sleep with one eye open tonight.
Remember that dude stole $22 million from the Jags? That would have counted.
Yeah. That would count. That would also count.
I thought you were talking about Christian Kirk.
Oh, that was 70.
Gosh, that reset the whole. That's the reason. I think we've talked about this before. The reason AJ Brown is at Philadelphia Eagles.
I think it's the reason the Chiefs traded
reset
Tyreek.
The market. That was the little domino that hit that fell, and they all fell. AJ Brown.
The Chiefs haven't lost a playoff game since Christian Kirk signed that contract.
Sure. I hate that. Christian Kirk has ruined my life.
I mean, seriously, if you actually think about it, if the Giants head and drafted Saquon Barkley, does Christian Kirk ever get paid? I mean, as a butterfly flaps its wings.
It's called the dominoes effect because that's where Christian Kirk's going to be working after this contract is done.
And it all somehow ends up with Biff Tannen getting the Gray Sports Almanac. That's how this all.
I mean, that is. I've told you guys before. It's my number one obsession in life: is time travel and winning sports bets. It's all I think about. It's all I want to do.
How do we know you didn't time travel to win this podcast?
Yeah, no, I time traveled back to 1989 to steal official Walt Anderson's hat and came right back.
yeah. If you were a time travel, you wearing a piece of memorabilia of the place you just came back from, not helping your case at all. You're not keeping it coy at all.
Yeah.
All right.
Last one. Really lost.
Okay. So does Taylor Swift get a ring? This also will run midnight of Monday night. So in case, he wants to do it at a more intimate dinner on, Monday, victorious dinner. But also this has a caveat. If Travis announces his retirement, the whole bet flips.
Oh, okay.
So if you were losing the bet, you will now win the bet, or if you were winning the bet, you will lose it. So that's if he announces his retirement. So there is a case where Chiefs win, Travis announces his retirement, but doesn't pop the question, and you said yes, you could still win the bet.
I have no idea what you just said.
I wrote no down before I wrote any of what this bet was. I just wrote no, and I wrote $300, and then I listened to Austin's explanation. I just knew I was betting against this one.
What? Well,
Travis tells me if he retires, my answer flips. So if he gives Taylor a ring, then I win the bet. But then he announces retirement, then I lose the bet. Mm-hmm. But if he doesn't give her a ring, then he announces retirement, then I win the bet.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm betting. Okay.
Usually we just skip this one, like as a whole.
Andrew was writing and he was nodding along, and then all of a sudden I just saw him stop and look up.
You should be could you have said either one of these two things is going to happen? He proposes to Taylor or he retires. You win the bet either way.
You really shouldn't have been able to make a bet about Travis Kelce that he couldn't understand.
I know. What do you? Yeah. I don't think
I'll hold up a cue card that you can do for this one.
So if you say, does Taylor Swift get a ring?
Right.
If you say yes.
All right. I'm going to say no, but go ahead.
Okay. So if you say no,
yeah.
And she doesn't, you've won the bet, right?
Right.
But if Travis also retires, then you lose the bet.
So if I say yes and Travis also retires, then what happens?
We'll figure it out on the other end. I'm just betting no, and because I don't think Travis. 2 days ago, Travis said he's playing 3 more years. So,
hey,
Austin,
think about it.
Last bet.
I'm going hard no on that. I think
I've already locked that one in with a no for $300.
$300. You can't see it. It's the 300. These notes make no sense. $300 no.
Yeah, they looked like that poster that was like, Mr. Policeman, I gave you all the clues.
Yeah.
Okay, and my final bet. Obviously, this one's called the big game. This is obviously the biggest game of the year, and Andy Reid is arguably the biggest coach in the game, and I mean that both figuratively and literally. So I Googled how much does Andy Reid weigh, and generative AI came out with the answer and told me Andy Reid weighs 194 pounds. If Google says it has to be true. Okay. Yeah. In his bra, maybe. So I guess I'm going to give a generative guesstimate here that he weighs around 300 pounds. Okay.
Yeah,
so
okay, go ahead.
Does any
pounds?
Say what?
He has lost a lot of weight. I would legitimately say I don't want to change the bet because your bet is great. He looks like he weighs 260 pounds now.
Yeah.
Okay, we all agree. More than 190. I was a little off on 194, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Way off.
Andy Reid does not weigh 15 pounds more than me right now. Okay, right? I haven't gotten that big, have I, guys?
No. Yeah,
this is more about me now.
You're good.
At this point.
You're good.
Guys, please.
It's a heavy jersey. Heavy lies the jersey that wears the crown. What's the bet?
The bet is, does anyone over 300 pounds touch the football in this game other than just diving on a loose ball, like if you're at the bottom of
Oh,
a pile?
like a called play.
So yeah, so either a called play for a touchdown or a scoop and score or an interception. Anyone over 300 pounds touch the football outside of just falling on a loose ball
Okay, so
Or being the center.
yeah.
or being a center.
He's
Yes.
got to pick it up and make a football move.
A football move.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is how we
Yeah.
define a catch. Is
All
Yeah.
right, I love that. Okay,
All right. So we have these bets. Do the $1,000 on this, and then I have a quick Super Bowl bonus.
okay, I could do it easily. 300 on no on Taylor getting a ring slash Kelsey retiring. Um, I'll do 200 on no for the 300 pounder. I'll do 100 just because I want to track it. Does anyone get arrested? I'll say yes. Okay, so that I'm at 600. I got I definitely got 200 on the Titans receivers being more than the cameos at the halftime show. I'm big into AJ Brown for this game. I think I have 200 left. I'll go 100 more text complaining about officiating than the competitor there. And then I have on my notes 15 and a half. Oh, yes. Saquon Barkley's going to have more runs under 0 than over 15. Oh, you know what?
Ooh.
You know what? How much? I don't want to put a lot on that. I'm going to put just 100 on that. So 100 on the text and 100
2, 3, 4,
on
5, 6,
yeah.
7, 8. Yeah, that's 1,000.
Yeah, I'm 1,000. Okay.
Perfect.
So that one I don't feel great about, but I have a feeling Saquon's going to get stuffed a couple times.
Yeah. And then the last thing, lock one of these in as your bet to lock in. One you're
Oh yeah,
most
which one's
sure
your lock
about.
of the week?
Oh, lock in. I thought you were going to give me some more options. Oh, Taylor not getting a ring.
Okay.
And then I have now, because it's the Super Bowl, I have one more bonus. You have $250 to place on one of the following.
Okay.
And I'll tell you the bet and tell you the odds. Does Carson Wentz finally play in a Super Bowl?
Okay.
So does Carson Wentz get a snap? That's 5-1. Does anyone mention Luca? That's 2-1. Does at any point Luca come up?
Okay.
This one is I randomly asked my girlfriend Bailey, who is that? Does she ever, over and over again, does she ever get 3 in a row correct? That's 3-1. It'll be players, whoever, anyone showing up.
Okay.
Or you choose talking animal or talking baby that shows up in a commercial first. That's 3-1.
First. Okay.
Just a complete bonus. You get to pick one of those 4, and $250 goes on it.
Well, I have to be
Can't
honest.
lose.
I'm dying to know how Bailey does. I don't know why that just speaks to me so much. You'll give me the result, right? I want to know.
Definitely.
3-1. So wait, do I have to pick one side or the other?
No. If she gets 3 in a row, you
If
win.
she gets 3 in a row
But it's
at
just
any point in the night.
it's just like one of those thanks for signing up for our apps. Here's your first time bet bonus. It's
Yeah,
non-withdrawable.
Now, obviously, you're not just going to ask football players. So
No, if they show someone in the crowd I know, I'll be like, who's that?
So it could be celebrities. And what about the halftime show? Aren't you a bit nervous about that?
It depends on if I have to know who the people are to be able to judge if she knows them.
Okay. So what if she just volunteers? Hey, that's T-Pain who just got on set.
No, that won't count.
Okay.
I've got an important question to distinct this. Does she know who the Costco guys are?
I don't, and I won't ask.
Okay. Damn.
I feel like I don't know who
big
they are, but I
do.
feel like if I see them, I'll off vibe. I won't ask who they are.
You say that? I feel really dumb. The Costco guys?
Wait, no.
Austin,
no.
we're not talking about the Costco guys.
We're not talking about.
I muted Austin so we can just actually get away from whatever this is. He keeps trying to talk about the Costco guys, and I don't want to talk to him about it. That puts you in. All right, I'll ask him to unmute, but I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about viral TikTok families.
Oh,
Boom.
That's $1,000, a bonus 250. That could be a bonus 750 if that hits. Great. How you feeling otherwise?
I feel good. I feel like the Eagles are either going to win handily, like somewhat easily, or lose a 2-point game.
That's actually how I feel. I got like Eagles by 11 or Chiefs by 2.
The only way to beat your team, you have to beat them. You have to.
You
crush
cannot
them.
be ahead by 8.
No, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead in the water.
I did see this statistic today. Mahomes has been to more Super Bowls than he has lost by 10 or
Okay.
more. So 5 Super Bowls, 4 times. The Titans once beat him 27-3. They're one of those 4 games.
That is true. That is true. People
And then the
forget.
Chiefs didn't win the Super Bowl till the end of that
That
year.
that was my Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that is, I guess, what you got to do. He's been to 5 Super Bowls, and he's been blown out 4 times.
He's also been to Super Bowls. The percentage of him going to Super Bowls in his career is higher than his completion percentage. That's awesome.
Wait, did you guys know though that the Eagles lost to the Chiefs the first time, much like what was the analogy you gave? I'm already forgetting.
Well, if Saquon Barkley had never
2004,
played
the
for the
T.O. hard
Giants.
ankle year.
Okay.
Andy
Yeah.
Reid. Yeah, they lost to the Patriots. in
Austin,
that
I
first
think
go-round.
you're downplaying T.O.'s injury. I think he had a broken fucking leg.
He did. It was
He,
bad. It was
ran
bad,
on
but
a broken leg.
And that was the story. That was the storyline for like the whole. I don't. It might have even just been 1 week back then. Leading up to the Super Bowl, and that was the whole story.
Well, everyone was really
his
taunting
T.O.
him by
play.
taking that storyline and running with it.
But does a 13-year lag between the two of them make it a little different than a 2-year lag?
No. Don't. Let's not get into semantics here. It's just the second time
There's
they
certainly
play
not a way you can
generational
just Google what
dynasty.
you want online and reaffirm your opinion on anything. Other that would be dangerous for the political state of the world. If,
Wow.
if what we're doing right now, if you could
Yeah.
have a bias get confirmed.
Oh yeah. All right. Maggie's waiting in the restaurant downstairs.
Andrew, thank you for being here. Best of luck.
Last thing before we
Yeah.
let you go, is there anyone you want to challenge that we will get for our week 1 opening week challenge?
Week 1.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
All right.
Yeah. We have time to effort them. So if no matter how hard you want to make it.
Okay. Oh, let's go somebody celebrity. Let's get a Philadelphia celebrity fan, not Bradley Cooper, but somebody attainable.
Miles Teller, maybe?
He's awesome. He's a diehard fan. I've talked Philly sports with him a couple times. He's unbelievable. But I don't know. Can you get Miles Teller, that Top Gun thing? Let's see.
I mean, not a chance, but we'll try for anyone you challenge.
We'll go for anyone whose name sounds like a magician.
You guys know who Gilly is? No, you can't do a podcast with him. He's this guy who dances for the Eagles. He's Gilly the King. Is it
just the mascot?
No, he's this dude who just started doing videos where he dances after a win, and now he's like the #2 celebrity in all of Philadelphia.
Well, if he survives the celebration,
Gilly the King. Okay, yeah, Miles Teller's a good one. I'm trying to see what other celebrities are at the games. Yeah. Oh, you know who's a really good celebrity? Kevin Nagandi is a wonderful guy, and he's a diehard Eagles fan. So, yeah. Trying to think of my favorite Eagles fan. Who do you guys know? The Eagles fans: Meek Mill, Kevin Hart, Bradley
Don
Cooper.
Henley.
You got me there for a second.
Wow, Austin got you with a joke. Hell really froze over.
Yeah.
Maybe the Eagles do have a chance this weekend.
I think you should go for Miles Teller.
Mike Trout. Oh, Miles Teller. Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Miles Teller.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Well,
Maybe
week 1 of the
we
NFL
have
season
6
will be
months to go
early
after him.
September, so Mike Trout will honestly not be busy by that point.
Yeah.
He'll be rehabbing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Bryce Harper, but he's got as long as TikTok's not banned, he's not going to be available. He's got too much going on.
Yeah, right.
This is
Okay.
killer. Best of luck to the Eagles. Have fun while you're there.
Yeah.
Get a new hat to
Yeah,
wear
yeah.
in 27 more years. Get a ref hat for this. Do they
So,
keep
yeah.
it going?
Can you guys text me on Monday? I need to find out. The Bailey bet is really
Yeah,
fascinating.
Definitely.
I might try that.
I'll
Like,
get
definitely hit me up. Yeah.
I'll even text. I'll let you know who it is that she knew in a row.
Yeah. In fact, if you can on Sunday night, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. Thanks, Andrew.
Love you guys.
Maggie made $550. So you can, when you go down there to meet her for dinner,
Yeah.
you can tell her that I'm gonna bragging rights are on the line. This is now your second opportunity to try and beat her.
Yeah. All I can say is go birds, BERDS, birds.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.
All right, guys.
Andrew,
later.
you're the man, dude. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. We appreciate it, dude.
All right, let's be in touch. I'll talk soon. Okay, bye.
All right, it is time for the last time this football season to place our money down Austin, I am going $200 on Taylor Swift shots over the texts. I am going $200 on cameos over the former Titan touchdowns. I could see this being 4-1.
Yeah, I don't think Titans receivers are going to score touchdowns.
AJ Brown is I could see getting one, but it's the thing is that McDuffie's very good
Yeah, that's the
and,
thing.
and very
That's
very
like
good.
the Chiefs' defense is really good. Like I don't
Yeah.
think there's going to be a whole lot of scoring. Like I think the over under is 49 and a half. And I would take the under on that.
And then I'm gonna do over on Barkley for 15 and a half yards. I could see that being 3-2. Um, you know what and this is just cheap. Kareem Hunt is the greatest running back in the world at getting 4.5 yards, and then he might
Yeah.
not be a top 40 running back at anything else.
Yeah.
But this man will not lose you. Anyways, but Barkley, I don't know. Maybe they stuff him. I'd be happy to lose that $150.
Sure.
Putting $150 on no one getting arrested. I don't know why. Putting $300 locking in no ring as well. It just feels like I don't know. Travis feels it doesn't feel I don't feel that as much as
I
people want it to happen.
Well, I checked with before making that bet. I checked with the biggest Swiftie I know, which is my wife, and this is a woman who is flat out obsessed with all things Taylor Swift. And I asked her, I said, "Is there a possibility, or is this a?" Because I told her the bet, and she was like, "It could happen. Like it's not out of the realm of
It
possibility."
to me, it just seems like because I don't think Taylor Swift, and once again I don't know, but she doesn't seem like she seems so normal for where the state of
Yes,
her life is that I
and
feel like she would just honestly rather just have it be quietly at her home.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but it's not. She's not the one popping the
But
question.
I
I
think
could
Travis knows that
totally
about
see.
her.
I
That's what
could
I
totally
think.
see. Well, and that's possible. That's possible too. But I could totally see Travis like doing like wanting to do this grandiose, like, hey, we just won the Super Bowl. Let me like Boise
Yeah.
State. I'm gonna get down on a knee right
Yeah,
here
well,
amongst the
those are stupid
confetti.
kids.
Well,
Um,
Travis acts like one
who,
sometimes.
yeah, who knows? Well, now he's got a little more maturity to him now. But he definitely Travis, if he was in this state 8 years ago, I could see him just doing it just in the middle of the game.
Yeah, ripping his shirt off too.
So that's where my money's allocated. That's my 1,000. I'm locking in the no ring. And you know what? I'm
Okay.
going to put $250 on a talking animal
Okay.
for my
Um.
bonus.
Okay. I am gonna go $200 on no one gets arrested. That is my lock. I believe I did this same bet for Super Bowl last year, and it made sense because it was in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
This is essentially a different Las Vegas in New Orleans,
Yeah.
a city of mischief. However, I don't think anyone got arrested last year, and last year was even heightened because of the sports books. The NFL employees
Yeah.
were not allowed to step foot inside a sports book, so I feel like this.
Which is
I
the
think
plot to
that
the never ending story, right? Don't they step inside of a book?
that they do.
Um,
Yeah, that's true. So I'm going 200 no, and that is my lock of the week. Taylor Swift, I'm going $300 on no. I don't think she gets a ring. Um, but and that's partially because it's like the Chiefs also have to win for all of that to happen,
yeah,
which
and I put
is
that
a
at a
foregone conclusion. But
48% chance they win.
I see, I've got it much higher. I think it's a 65% chance that they win.
Still, that's not that
Um,
high.
mhm.
Flip a coin
Uh,
twice, get tails twice in a row. You have longer odds of that.
As a Titans fan, that is very high. Trust me. That is on the big bet. I'm going $100 on no. I do not think a 300-pounder touches the football, but man, would I love to see that happen.
Yeah. Once again, you're okay
Um,
with losing that money.
yeah, exactly. Cameos. I'm taking $300 on that. More cameos than Titans touchdowns because think about it. It's going to be much easier to see a cameo than it is anyone scoring a touchdown on either of these
Wow, what are
defenses.
you, DeAndre Hopkins' mom? Sorry, bad joke.
Um,
He's who, honestly, he might be who I'm rooting for more than any single person in the Super Bowl. To
DeAndre
win,
Hopkins.
yes, just to win, just to win, just get it for him.
I I don't have I'm not rooting for anything ever. I am going 100, or I'm going $50 on the refs text messages. I think look, it's gonna all it takes is one bad call for your buddy to just pop off.
Yeah.
And then I'm going $50 on Barkley over. I'm gonna take the over 15.
And then what's
Um,
what Kyle bonus bet are you dropping?
like Perloff. I'm going Bailey. I think Bailey has a lot of hidden knowledge of pop culture
Hmm.
and things, and I think I'm putting $250 on Bailey, and we don't lose that money, right?
No, no, no.
That's just a
That's just
game.
purely a Super Bowl bonus bet.
Okay, then yeah, I'm going three in a row. Uh,
Wonderful.
so you don't be too stingy with who you ask and who you don't ask. Okay.
I just say it for Donald Trump 3 times.
Yeah, we should have
She
done
goes 1 for 3.
more cutaways to Donald Trump or more cutaways to Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, a thousand million billion percent. The NFL will cut away to him, but they will not repetitively cut away to him.
Yeah.
We already know exactly how they're going to treat it.
What happens if they
Are
cut
in the same
away?
box.
Yeah, they're well, no, they're going to cut away to him twice. One, because it's just to announce that he's there, to say, the first standing president to ever attend the Super Bowl. And then you're going to cut away to him one more time when they bring up the fact that they removed end racism from the end of the end zones, because he'll be then pointing to himself, being like, "I did that. I
It's going to
ended
be tough
racism
to decide if it's a
under my bed."
cutaway. Is it going to be a cutaway if they just pan from Taylor over Brittany to Donald?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Honestly, they might be in the box together. So a cut to
Th-
Taylor may be a cut. Taylor and Donald Trump may be sitting together.
That would revitalize Twitter for an hour. That would be, boy, would there be a lot of people on every side of that not knowing how to behave.
I mean,
Eh.
look, Taylor's wearing red. He's in the party of red.
He is a communist. Uh, I wish. I sincerely wish he was. Um, all right, everybody. Speaking of reallocating money, best of luck on your bets.
Yep. At Cork
Enjoy
Bats on all of the
the
socials
Duper
if you want
Bowl.
to follow along. Yeah. At Kyle Ayers.
Yeah,
I'm at Austin Huff.
yeah.
Follow, rate, review, subscribe if you enjoyed what we do.
Hit us
Um,
up if you think we should do this in the off season or some version of something.
Yeah, I think we did an Oscar episode one off at one
Hmm.
point. So yeah, just hit us up at Corked Bats, Corked spelled with a K. And yeah, good luck on your bets. You don't got anything for the road, do you? Any last words before your team takes the field for the third straight Super Bowl?
It would be cool if they won. It will be fine if they don't. I can't believe it. It's like absolute insanity that there's any normalization to this. If you remember how we were in college, starved for anything.
No, I know. Yeah, you and I had a bet. In fact, you and I took a class the same semester the Titans started the season 0-6,
Hmm.
and then went on to win 7 of their last 9 game or 8 of their last 9 games,
Hmm.
and missed the playoffs by one game. That was a wild year. But never in my right mind did I ever think that either of us, because the
No.
Chiefs were very bad at that time too.
Yeah.
Either of us would ever see a Super Bowl, let alone
The
multiple.
Chiefs are in 3 Super Bowls in a row. They've been in 5 Super Bowls in this guy's career. This is also the team's second longest streak they've ever been on of going without a player killing himself at the stadium.
That
And
is,
so it's
people
we
forget.
every year we extend that streak and
Mm-hmm.
but truly that happened just after college and I'm like I can't believe how short ago Romeo Crennel was being fired as the coach of the Chiefs.
Every year, the Chiefs' streak extends on both of those fronts.
Yeah, it is crazy. I do not know which one I would rather end first.
When the Titans made the AFC Championship against the Chiefs in that first Super Bowl that
Yeah.
they made of this run, that was the first time the Titans had made the AFC Championship since 2003, and I thought that was the coolest accomplishment ever. The
Yeah.
Chiefs haven't missed an AFC Championship since then.
Yeah, I mean the Chiefs had never won an AFC championship at Arrowhead until Mahomes. And the
That's-
trophy's named after the guy who opened the stadium.
That
There was a
is-
big old drought in there for a little bit.
we
and I can't believe
really
it's
need like a
happening.
Bud Adams trophy in the NFL so the Titans can win something.
It's the dodgeball trophy. Everybody, best of luck on your bets.
Yeah, love you. Good luck on your bets.